And welcome everyone to the Heavyweight Bros podcast. It is Wednesday, November 3rd, and it is your boy, the diabolical diabetic, the 5XL assassin, the Don Cartagena, Big Nasty, and of course, to my right, I got the Springfield Joe Clark, the high, the high yellow hitman, Coach Buck in the building, Uncle Raisin. How you doing, my boy?
Oh, that's what we doing? Episode 3. Episode 3. We out here.
The hard way.
Wow.
Take this one.
What?
No, ain't no way you can take this from me.
This guy's on fire early.
It's early, but it's late. Because like I said, it is Wednesday.
So you know what I'm gonna say to the people, right?
No, you don't need to say nothing.
Good mood.
So what's going on, Raisin? How you doing? We back and better than ever.
Listen,
Episode 3. How you feeling right now?
I'm feeling good, man. You know, the kids looking a little brighter. You know why? Because we worked on some lighting. Might sound a little clearer. You know why? Because we went and got freshened up mics too. You know, so you don't see the little thing in the middle no more. You know, we on our little yeah. You know, you get it.
I was gonna say Georgia Weezy. Moving on up to the east side. No.
Yeah, all right, we gonna move on. This brother's in his bag tonight, so we want to make sure we get all of this. All right. So
before we even begin, I know to say I appreciate all the shout out, all the love, all the comments, all the criticism. I appreciate it.
Yes.
Like I said, all we do is we go back to the lab and we try to figure out what's working, what doesn't, and we keep it going. We got new mics. We're gonna give this one a shot. See how this one go. We fixed up some of the quality, as you can see, lined up so sharp it'll cut a motherfucking right now. You know what I'm saying?
Kids show. Wow.
We're doing a
family show.
Is it a family show? I think the only like we family, but that's about it. Like,
I see what you did there, my guy.
That's you know what I'm saying? That's all I can afford.
Yo.
But as always, we appreciate all of your likes, your subscribes, and your comments. Like those things are very, very important. Make sure you share these with everybody else. If you have any comments, any questions, any concerns, please hit the comment section. And also, we are still looking for an introduction song, or else you're just gonna have to keep hearing Raisin do that record scratch, whatever you want to call that.
Every episode is gonna be different. You never know. I might come in here wilding. Might kick a freestyle, and you're gonna be like, "That was terrible," because I'm waiting on you. I'm waiting on you.
Start yodeling, like it might be fire. But if you hit you gotta specifically hit like the Lloyd yodel. Like that yodel, like you hit that might not be.
Nope. I might act like I got a hoodie on with spaghetti on it, and I'm staring in a broken mirror in a restroom, and I'm waiting to go on stage. I'm coming out heavy.
How have we not talked about the fact that he opened up that Mom's Spaghetti restaurant? Did you not see that?
Did he really?
Eminem opened up a restaurant called Mom's Spaghetti, and he showed up on day one, and he took orders in the drive-thru line and gave people their food. And he flipped people
off. What do they serve?
Spaghetti. Come on. Like, how I didn't see the menu.
Listen,
I saw the photos of him in the window giving people spaghetti, and then and then he gave him the finger, and then they flew off.
Listen, hey, you gotta do what you gotta do, I guess.
Hey, he took my in my bag. That boy's been in his bag forever.
Yeah. That is crazy. All right, moving on. What are we starting with tonight?
All right, I was gonna say because we try to keep it running.
Yes. Yes.
But first things first, we're going into digging in the crates, and we do have some new music actually dropping this week. Amine of the
That's how you say it?
Fam. Yeah.
Okay.
I think it's supposed to look like anime because
But he switched the M and the N.
Yes.
Gotcha.
So it is Amine of Caroline fame. That bad thing. That is him. Thick as fuck. Oh my God. Well, he's got a new album coming out this Friday called 2.5 that we'll be checking out. We'll do a quick review of that. He's got a new single out, Charmander, that we both listened to earlier, and I gave it a thumbs up.
I was pleasantly impressed. Not that I don't like Amine.
Yeah.
Not that I don't like some of his tracks that I've already listened to before. He's got some joints you can hop in the car, take a little coast real quick. You know what I mean? So I enjoyed this one. I played it maybe about 3, 4, maybe 5 times the last couple of days.
Okay.
That nice little beat you could rock to. You know
he can spit too. Like that's the thing. Is like I love his flow. I like the bars. It's just like he has a hard time putting an album together of a bunch of songs because then it's like you get real tired of it real quick.
Yeah.
And it's that's not a good thing.
I think one of the reasons too why I like his music is like I don't feel like I'm listening to somebody else when I listen to him.
Okay.
And it's just like Tired of hearing people be other people.
So, I mean, yeah, so it was original. That's
Yeah,
kind of what you're trying to say, like in a
yeah,
nutshell.
definitely.
But like also in music news, one important thing that did happen is on Saturday, October 30th, was the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame induction ceremony.
Mm-hmm.
And a couple people of note that are relevant to the hip hop community. Number one was Tina Turner.
Tina Turner.
And it's like the first thing that I thought was, I was like, Tina Turner wasn't already in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
Yeah, because people be tripping.
People would definitely be tripping. I was like, I'm not even old enough for Tina, but I know Tina should be in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
Mm-hmm.
And like, it's kind of wild that she's not. But she got entered in as a performer. We also had LL Cool J received the Musical Excellence Award.
Did you see his TikTok?
I did. I showed you the TikTok.
Oh, it was you.
But like, let's go get him. And they're like, yo, LL, it's time to go.
Hey, when I'm by myself, sometimes I stare at the wall.
I can't believe you botched that line like that. You trying to tell me like, when I'm alone in my room, sometimes I stare at
but
the
he
wall.
didn't say it like that in the TikTok.
He was like, oh, I'm sorry. Sometimes I stare at the wall. And then he moved, and then it did the, what you call it, the song for it.
Yeah.
But you still botched the line. It is like, I expect
Listen, man. Listen. I'm sorry.
But it's all right. And it's like, that kind of felt like it was long overdue as well. Cause like, I feel like he's one of those people like in hip hop, like he's kind of like forgotten about a bit. Cause he was like huge pioneer. And it's like, if you listen to a lot of the, I don't even want to say older rappers, but like anybody that's like really like 30 years old and up, like they're all were like, he's one of the main reasons why they even got into hip hop. Like the I'm That album is just like that iconic. But most importantly, and the real headline stealer of the night was the man S. Carter, Hov, Jigga, Sean Carter, Mr. Knowles, Jay-Z was also inducted into the Hall of Fame as a performer. And I know he's your favorite rapper, right?
Yeah, currently, and all time, and back in the day, and yeah.
Is there even so? Like I, for a long time, was Biggie's the greatest rapper of all time, and then I was like Jay-Z was like number two, and I was like I don't know what it's gonna take for him to surpass Biggie, but I was just like nah, he's not gonna do it. And then he like right before 444 came out, he did like a couple features, and one of the big ones that he did, I don't know if you heard it, was the What's Free with Meek Mill and Rick Ross. And I was just like, I don't know why, but this verse is so good. Jay-Z's my number one. And like, I feel like it's really hard to argue against it. And it's like,
stand the test of time. And for me, I mean, if you can make joints that I appreciate, but then when my son is like working out in the basement or something and he's playing a Jay-Z song and it's not even something that's new. He's playing something. He done listen to the What's Free, and then now like he's in the basement lifting weights, listening to song cry. I'm like, I don't even know how you lift weights to that, but that brother's getting it done right now. I was like, right. He's killing them weights. I'm like, yo, what are you listening to right now? I thought maybe somebody had used the beat or something. He was like, I look at him, he turned over his shoulder, was like, but I gotta make this song cry. I was like, yo, I'm gonna leave you to yourself right now.
I was gonna wonder too, because I was like, yo, if your son is picking the wrong song, like if he's gonna pick up the weights, he's like, ain't no nigga like no guy. Moving on.
This tripping. So I did get a chance to watch the acceptance speech.
Great speech.
Yeah. Typical Jay. He always makes sure to say something to make you think. He always makes sure to give the correct shout outs. And what a lot of people are talking about is that he made sure to pay homage to Dame Dash.
That was big.
Which it's going to be tough for anybody. You know what I mean? Considering everything that was going on and still is going on and with their relationship to this today, it takes a big man. You know what I mean? So it is what it is.
I really respect the point. And like, he's right. He wouldn't be where he is if it wasn't for Dame. And I think I don't know if you saw that Dame like kind of responded to it. And he's like, yo, it's time to bury the hatchet. Like what are we really doing? And it's like I feel like my dad and my uncle, or like my two uncles, got into a fight. They don't talk to each other anymore, and like now at the family reunion they're gonna make up, and it's like I'm proud. Like I was like I feel like I've been a part of this.
I feel like Jay-Z be throwing little subtle uppercuts though. I feel like he would be like, yo, Dame, let's do dinner on me. Then he'll show up with like a leather jacket that he got from Kevin Lowers.
I definitely felt bad getting the rocker wear polo. Like I was like, I feel like this is hurting Dame's pockets. I feel like this ain't fair.
He's like, yo, fam, really? That's what you're gonna wear? Like this whole thing?
I feel like if I was walking like down the street and Dame Dash saw that, like he stunned me. You know, that's what you do when you supporting them. But yeah, we just really wanted to shout that out. Like that's also long overdue.
Yeah, man.
Now is not really the time for it because we do have a lot of stuff on the docket. But one of the things that I am working on is in the future, I want to do my proposal for the Hip Hop Hall of Fame. I think it's insane that as influential and as big as hip hop is, that we do not have our own Hall of Fame. Um, we have Basketball Hall of Fame, Football Hall of Fame, Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, Songwriters Hall of Fame. Like we have all these things, but what we don't have is we don't have a Hip Hop Hall of Fame. And like one of the thing that really made me like really zone in on this is I believe it was Tracy McGrady went on a show and like you know when you go on ESPN like they do like a little box and they put like your thing like oh 3-time scoring leader and it's like Hall of Fame inductee and like I think that that's a very important thing and it's like I feel as like a rapper or like a hip hop artist because like when like now when Jay-Z goes somewhere like obviously he's Jay-Z so his name just rings out anyways but like they have to put in that box like so Rock and Roll Hall of Fame inductee and it's like I feel like it'd be even bigger if it was like Hip Hop Hall of Fame inductee like on there and it's just like it's less for the Jay-Z's and it is for like the people who get in like down the line like someone like a Bun B like you know I'm not even saying like he'd be like a first ballot person but like he's someone who probably should be in there and it's like it's important that when he goes on things he is recognized as a Hall of Famer.
They're gonna have to do like 50 to 100 people off the rip.
Listen, I like when I tell you that I don't have this thing written down.
That's gonna be
I have like my whole proposal, and I'm gonna go through it because it's like if you looked at like what I'm talking about right now, it looks like those crazy pictures where they got like the red yarn going all the way across. Like I thought way too like during the pandemic.
Trying to find a serial killer.
No, during the pandemic, like I was like, yo, like how many people can we fit? Like what else can go in here? What about people? What about producers? Where does Timbaland get in? Like yo, I'm telling you, like
how long are their speeches? Where do they sit?
I swear to you, I planned out Hall of Fame weekend for Hip Hop Hall of Fame.
Yeah, listen.
So it's like when we get there, and we're gonna get there at some point in time. Like I need you to bear with me, and I'm gonna need like at bare minimum like half an hour to talk about
all right,
this.
so let's say what happens when the first 50 come out and it ain't none of the 50 that you thought it was going to be. Maybe you got like 30
Well, first of all, you don't come out with 50 off rip.
Okay.
I think you come out with 10 off rip. And every year you induct 5. That's how I think
people are going to be waiting for it.
You got me leaking these secrets, man.
All right, okay, all right. We'll move on. All right, we'll keep your gym under wraps.
But that is it for digging into crates. Let's move on to TV Insomnia Hour. Honestly, like I've been in the middle of like a bunch of shows, so like I don't really have anything to talk about or plug right now. But like you did say you wanted to take a shout out to hit up one person.
Yes. So first, I actually have 2. I forgot one.
Oh, you do that?
Yes, I started watching the Colin Kaepernick joint last night.
That's right. You did tell me you were watching.
Yes, I got like 3 episodes in.
How many episodes is it?
Like 6, but they're only like 30 minutes long.
Oh, so it's quick.
Oh yeah, it's real quick. I'm gonna polish the rest of that off tonight. But
yeah, choose better terms, bro.
Yeah, we're gonna figure it out. Come on,
I'm on one right now. Like,
we grow, man. Yes, we'll figure it out. All right, but yeah, we so it's basically like him detailing like the way he grew up, and with his white adopted mother, white adopted dad, him thinking that like he had the same privilege as his parents, but found out that he did not. And
don't translate, bro.
Yeah, as you get older, you start to notice the little microaggressions, not only within his community and the people that he was around, but from his own parents as well. So it was just like the way he tailors it and still keeps like the essence of the time he was growing up in and things that connect to that via culture and some of the things that young men need to learn as they grow up. I thought it was pretty dope, and I'm only halfway through it. So
I've seen some of the reviews from it, and it is getting pretty rave reviews. But like the thing is, like I try not to read too much because I know they're gonna spoil some stuff.
Oh yeah. Nah, I don't want to hear nothing nobody got to say until I see it.
Would you consider it a must watch?
Yes, like, definitely. I'm gonna have my boys watch it.
All right. And then what was the other one? What's the big shout out?
Listen,
you
man.
You texted me.
Yo, listen.
You were like, we need to talk about this on the pod. And I was like, I'm there.
So I don't watch Dancing with the Stars. But I was on YouTube and this random video pops up, Iman Shumpert on Dancing with the Stars. I was like, this gotta be fake. It was not fake. And not only was it not fake, this man was taking it super real. Yo, listen. This man, Iman Shumpert, was like, you think I bagged Tiana Taylor because of my charm? Nope. I had the moves like Jagger.
I know that they're at home. They're like,
listen. This brother is not he's not playing no games. He's like, yo, listen, I'm a competitor. I'm an athlete. And if I'm coming out here, like, I'm going to make sure it happens. It's crazy weird, though, because he's like, what, 6'4", 6'5"?
Yeah.
His partner's like 5'11". He's swinging her around like a towel. But it works. It works. But I ain't going to spoil everything. I was definitely going to say check it out. But he has like this one routine where they're like wearing the outfits from what's the dude from Key and Peele? He did the movie where they had the red jumpsuits on.
You're not talking about Squid Game.
The guy who did Get Out. Us. So they're wearing like the Us outfit. So it's like
I saw that. What was the song? Because it's killing me.
I can't remember it was an OG song too.
It was an
OG song.
I watched like that whole clip. I was like, okay.
Right.
And I was like, yo, you got a perfect score.
Right.
You had the perfect score.
And like through all the fun, he was like still keeping the dark look and paying respect to the movie Us. And it was just I know. I was just like, yo, Shump, I know you could dunk on it. I mean, former Nick, I know the man had to leave. I get it. He's definitely a champion with the Cavs, right? Yep. But he was killing it, man. I was like, all right, shout out to the homie, man.
Do we need to start watching Dance of the Stars to support Iman, or are we just gonna keep watching these clips?
I'm just gonna keep watching the clips.
Because I was on the same page. And I was like, please don't tell me we can start
watching the show doesn't support Iman. It supports the people running the network, but he's definitely gonna get his work in regardless. And if he doesn't win, I'm calling a sham mockery.
I'm gonna move on. So, like, as I said, I'm not really watching anything. I am in the middle of watching Insecure, and I must say that, like, I love being back into this world. There's only 2 episodes right now. The first episode is about 40 minutes, and the second episode is 30. I only did the first episode, but as soon as I watched it, I was like, I'm so glad I'm back. Please watch Insecure, final season, HBO Max. If you got a chance, do that. There were a couple of trailers that came out for a couple of TV shows. We have The Wheel of Time, which is an Amazon Prime show starring Rosamund Pike from Gone Girl. A lot of people will probably know her from. That's going to be dropping on November 19th. But what we were most excited about, and the trailer didn't give us much, is there's a trailer for Atlanta season 3.
So confused.
I don't know what the trailer is.
I'm so confused.
But as soon as I saw Paperboy, I was like, I'm there. Like, whatever this is, I'm there. I'm gonna
I don't want to read too much into it, but the one thing that I did notice is it looked like he was living lavish.
Yep.
He had some fresh gear on. Had some new chains on, but he still had the old Paperboy chain on.
He's got a shirt that said Fame too.
Yes. So I was just like,
Fame getting to his dome.
I don't know.
He had a little bit of hair up top.
Yeah, there's a couple people in the back looking away from him, not at him. Like, yo, I don't know.
Don't turn Paperboy to a villain, please. Like, that's the best part of the show is like how real he is compared to everybody else, and it's like I don't need him to be a villain, but I am super, super, super beyond excited about that though. Yeah. So like I'm in there for that.
Yeah, I'm with it too. All right, so moving on from Insomnia Hour, we're gonna jump into popcorn Papi time. I don't know what they put in them Subway cookies, but it's tweaking.
No, first of all, I've been eyeing these Subway cookies on the side because them ones was smacking something different.
Subway, you heard the homie, man. Sponsor the homie. Get him some of them cookies, man. All right.
I know you don't got real tuna. That don't matter. Them joints bang. Whatever it is, that sandwich bangs.
Yo, chill out.
I'm one of those people that like if like people get super surprised when things are like what's in it. Like when McDonald's were like, oh, new like real chicken is in it. People are like, what was it made out of before? And I was like, they could have told me that this joint was made out of like refugee feet. And like I would have been like, oh damn, that's crazy. Can I get another one for $1? Like, I don't care. Crazy. I don't care.
Popcorn Papi time. Popcorn Papi time. Yeah. All right, so you were supposed to go see Halloween.
I did go see Halloween. Halloween Kills. I did watch it.
Okay.
And I really, really liked it. And it's one of those things where it's like it's not the greatest movie, but I had a great time watching the movie.
Okay.
And like I feel like it does what you're supposed to do in horror movies because like horror movies are tough to be scary all the way through. Like there's very few horror movies that like the entire time that you're scared because it's hard to keep that up. So like usually what they do is like in movies like Scream and stuff like that is they balance it out with humor
Mm-hmm.
and stuff like that. And it's like the movie does like kind of like a good job of it. It's like the jokes aren't like Dave Chappelle didn't write this movie and stuff like that. Like it's like you're kind of laughing at like how cheesy some of the actors are,
Yeah.
and stuff like that. And it's like it has some misses in that regard, but I felt like the plot was pretty solid.
Mm-hmm.
The kills like are I don't want to say a plenty, but it's like there's enough kills in there to keep you interested. There's like it's all the Mike Myers stuff you want in a Mike Myers movie.
Gotcha.
And like one thing that I really appreciated that I wanted to bring up is one of the because like I think Michael Myers is the scariest like movie monster.
No, it's Candyman, but continue.
And that's yours, that's yours. But like I think he or maybe not the scariest, but he's the best. Like all the way around. Like he doesn't have the best movies, but it's just like out of like Jason, your Freddy's, your Chucky's, like all these the pinheads. Like I feel like he's the best one. And
Jada and Fab would disagree, but go ahead.
but in the movie, like there's a few times where like his mask comes off.
Mm-hmm.
And like they never show it to you like what his face looks like. But it's like at the end of the day, like Michael Myers is a person.
Yeah.
And it's like they really like focus on that. But it's like when he puts the mask on, no matter how close that you are to him, the eyes are always just black. Mm-hmm. And it's like stuff like that. So like even though you know he's a person, it's like this dude is superhuman like throughout the whole time. And it's like I'm in on this movie. It's already set up for a trilogy, so there's gonna be another one after this. I'm in there.
Stop it.
I was having a hard time trying to figure out where to put it on the scale because it's most certainly not a full price movie because it's not like it's not that great of a movie. But it's like but like what horror movies really are.
I really enjoyed this terrible movie.
But it wasn't terrible. Like you're going too far with terrible. I believe that it's in between a matinee and a $5 Tuesday. And it's just like I'm like like it could really go each way. But like I am going to give it the matinee. Go ahead. Like I said, I like the Halloween movies. I like scary movies. So if you like Halloween and you like scary movies, I believe that you will like this movie as well. Especially if you like the 2018, 2019 Halloween movie that comes before it because it takes place directly after that movie. Mm-hmm. So if you like that one, you're gonna like this one as well. Like I said, matinee.
Okay. All right. So Dune.
I did watch Dune.
I did watch it as well.
You actually watched the movie?
I watched it.
You watched the movie?
It was on HBO Max. I watched it right in the living room.
Did you watch it on your phone?
Yep.
They literally have trailers in the movie theaters about like, don't watch these on your phone. Go watch it in the theater. And it's like, I'm a little disappointed that you watched it on your phone. But like, I'm actually excited because you actually watched the movie.
Yes.
What did you think of Dune?
I'm happy I watched it on my phone. Listen, man. Listen, I was not impressed. You gave me 2 hours of cooking.
2.5 hours.
2 hours of cooking for 30 minutes of eating. And I just couldn't do it. If I was waiting in the restaurant for 2 hours for my food and it showed up and it was done and I was just like, nah, it wasn't worth it. Like I know what they're doing. They're setting it up for the 2 and the 3 and the 4, I guess.
I think there's only gonna be 2.
Then that's even worse then. That's even worse. And if number 2 is not crag-a-lagging from the beginning to the end, and it needs to be 4 hours of just nonstop, have me on the edge of my seat, then I would feel like they owe me 2.5 hours of my life.
What did you go into the movie thinking that you were going to get, though?
Entertainment.
So you didn't find it entertaining at all, just so we're clear.
I felt like I kept waiting to be entertained, and right when I thought I was going to be, I was not. There was probably one fight scene that was really enjoyable, and even that wasn't. That it was like really anticlimactic. Yep, I got it. Yeah. But yeah, I wasn't feeling it. It was just. Then every time they introduced me to somebody that I was like, oh, this person's in the movie. That's dope.
Because everyone is in this movie. Right. Everyone is in this movie.
But don't worry, because everybody won't be in part 2.
Come on, bro. Come on, bro.
I'm just kidding, man. Cut it out. I'm not kidding. Don't watch it. Trust me, don't watch it.
Wow, you're gonna go that far. So like, would you use my scale, or is there a raising scale that I don't know about that you want to break out right now?
Well, y'all know me. I don't go to the movies. So there's only 2 ways I'm watching a movie. I'm watching it on my phone because I ain't really caring about it, or I'm watching it on my living room, on the big screen laid up. So if I take the time to put it on the TV in the living room and get comfy, then I feel like it's worth watching. I watched this on my phone. So this is a Raisin Phone movie for me. Yeah.
So I don't think it was that bad at all.
Okay.
It is, first of all, it is 2.5 hours long, and like your 2 hours of cooking and 3 minutes of food, I don't think it's very far off. I think it's kind of like an hour and a half of cooking, and then it's like the last hour is pretty engaging. Um, so the director of this movie also directed the Blade Runner 2049 movie. So like if you like that type of stuff, like his cinematography is amazing. The sound is amazing. Like the movie looks beautiful and it has all this stuff. Does it not? I mean for real. Like
no, it looked good. It just
stop. We're not. I didn't get there yet. I didn't get to the script.
All right. Okay.
So and regardless of the script, everyone acted was great. Was great in it.
Yes.
Like Timothy Chalamet was good. I wish I knew the name of the mom in this movie because like she really was like the second star.
I thought you would have known because she's in a James Bond movie. I know you really like James Bond's movies. Oh nope, I'm sorry. She was in Mission Impossible.
I love Mission Impossible.
It's like I'm right back.
I like Mission Impossible more than I like James Bond movies.
So she was the one in the movie that was like she pulled out the super. It looked like a revolver gun, but like a super long rifle, and she took this really precise shot out the window.
Do you have any idea which Mission Impossible movie that you're talking about?
No, it had to be one of the later ones. It had to be one of the later ones.
Okay. But I thought she was great. Oscar Isaac plays the father. He's amazing. Jason Momoa, I feel like stole the movie.
How?
Jason
Momoa
Momoa
in it for 20 minutes.
Yo, bro, come on, man. Like, be spoiler stuff, man.
No, I'm talking about like the
way he's chopped up.
Yeah, like he's in the beginning, then he's in the middle, and then he says hi, and then he says bye. It's like,
but it's like the scenes that he's in, like he's exceedingly charismatic in the movie.
He's a good actor. I just wanted to see more of him.
Is he a great actor? Well, you watch that show, See?
Yes.
Like that's on you. To me, like I know a lot of people are like, "Oh, Jason
Batista."
Momoa,
I think I only seen him in the movie for
Batista
10 minutes. Right. Which I must say, like they seem to have like a bro code going on. Like they Martin and Will, like they just keep making movies together.
Yo, Bad Boys 4 with Batista and Momoa. Watch it?
No. No.
You're not watching Drax and Aquaman?
No.
Which everybody might see him as Aquaman, but he will always be Count Drogo to me.
Oh,
that's how he will always be.
Gem dropper.
That's how he'll always be.
Yeah.
Aquaman is secondary to me.
And he was thorough in that. Yeah, and Aquaman was lightweight terrible.
It wasn't terrible. It was okay. Like they tried to make it their Black Panther, and it was just like, I see what you're doing, and it's alright. But we're not gonna get into the superhero movies. We're not gonna get into superhero movies. Like, I'll go down this rabbit hole.
Okay.
Let's just talk about Dune. And Zendaya is also maybe in this movie. Like it's spread out, but she's in this movie for like a grand total of
15 minutes. Yeah, that's what I'm like. I've been like, I'm sitting there. I don't even know. I think she had one line in the movie. One line.
My big problem with the movie is, like I said, like I thought it acted, the acting in it was great. I thought the special effects and the cinematography was excellent. I thought the sound was great. The problem with this movie is there are way too many sequences, and it's like if you watch Blade Runner, it's the same thing. We're just like there's nothing happening. It's like we're literally just gonna watch this. We're gonna bask over this. We're gonna have two people stand next to each other and not say anything for a couple seconds, and then they start talking. And it's like this movie did not need to be 2.5 hours long. If this movie was a straight 2 hours long and they chopped up all this stuff, like I would have been like, oh, this movie's excellent.
Old boy was in it too, and he got his part all chopped up. Dude from No Country for Old Men.
Javier Bardem.
Yes.
Which amazing, and his screen time in there too. I was like, yeah, this dude's awesome.
You just need more of it.
Which
collab with some of the other actors. It was almost like.
But like the thing is like this movie is based off of the books, which there are 4 or 5 books, I believe, and the books are very, very dense. So there's a lot to get in. So like I feel like, this movie was very, very exposition heavy. But it's like at the same time, like all that stuff happened, but like you understand like everything that's happening. So it's like, oh, like I see what we're leading to. I see what all this stuff is. Like,
I should have just jumped straight to part 2.
So let me get this straight. You will not watch part 2.
You know how I am. I have this bad habit of finishing stuff because I started it, and I feel like I have to justify the 2.5 hours they stole from me by watching the next 2 hours they force feed me.
Did you watch the Lord of the Rings series?
Yes.
You like the Lord of the Rings series?
The last one was the last one was alright.
I want to punch you so hard right now.
Was it the last one? That's when it was really.
The second one is unanimously like everybody says it's the best one.
So maybe that's the one because I don't think I watched the last one. I don't know.
It's literally probably the greatest trilogy.
Yeah, I don't want to get you. I don't want to get you frustrated.
It's too late. We're here. We're here.
Let's talk about something that was delightful. Or do you want to do trailers first?
Well, I also didn't give my rating for this movie.
Oh yeah, you're right. Go ahead. My bad.
Why are you stepping all over popcorn?
My bad.
Man, talking crazy about Lord of the Rings. Then he wants to step on my segment.
My bad. Get my mic up.
So it's kind of crazy to think about it like this because it's kind of like in the same boat as Halloween Kills, and like it's in between the $5 Tuesday and the matinee. I liked Halloween more than this movie, which is kind of crazy. Yeah, like I actually like this movie. Like I loved Halloween.
The cinematic expressions were so good. The acting was so great.
Halloween, like every time I'm
listen, man,
it was just much about it. Oh, like I don't want to get. It's $5 Tuesday.
Yes.
It's $5 Tuesday.
It's cell phone for raising.
Now that I think about it, I actually saw it on $5 Tuesday. So like, I felt like I got my money's worth. $5
to be honest with you, I wasn't even gonna watch it, and then somebody was like, "You know, that's on HBO Max." I mean, you know, like on the app, on the phone. He was like, "Yeah." I was like, "All done, all done."
Did you give it your full attention, or were you like doing stuff while you were watching it?
Nah, I gave it my attention. I gave it my attention because I knew you was gonna ask that question, and I was just like, all right, I'm just gonna power through this just for the sake of the pod.
But like to move on, a couple new trailers came out. So Marvel dropped the trailer, or should I say Sony in association with Marvel dropped the trailer for the new Morbius movie. Did you end up catching that trailer?
I did catch the trailer.
What do you think? Are you in?
I'm not in.
I'm not in either. It's the same people that made Venom and Venom 2.
Yeah, I'm not in.
And it's like they got Michael Keaton to play like this is gonna be a Marvel movie. And I was just like, I do not care about Jared Leto's Morbius at all.
No,
and
I'm
like,
all set. And I feel like it's gonna be just like Dune, where the movie's gonna be an hour and 45 minutes, and then nothing's gonna happen until the last 15 minutes.
I feel like it's gonna be just like Venom and the Ghost Rider movies. I think it's gonna be like in that same thing.
I wasn't feeling it.
I'm not excited about Morbius, the Morbius movie. Even in the did you watch the Spider-Man animated series? The Spider-Man called Spider-Man. Like the Saturday morning cartoon.
Oh yeah.
Like Morbius would be on there, and it would be like, it's a Morbius episode. And it was like one of the Morbius episodes. Like I remember, I was like,
I'm gonna go get another bowl of cereal.
I remember I was like, it's a Morbius episode. And how did they fix that? They were like, we're gonna bring Blade in here. And I was like, Joel is back in on this. I was like, they got Blade in this, and the Punisher thing showed up. I was like, this is how you do Morbius. You just don't make him the main character. And then I'm like, Jared Leto, you just did this Joker as also, so like now you're doing this. And it's like, I kind of don't care. But like, I already know I'm going to see it. So it's like, it is what it is. But the one that I am excited about is, did you see the trailer for The Black Phone?
Yeah.
Ethan Hawke?
Yep, never going to watch it. Never going to watch it. I'm not about to play that nonsense.
Did it at least look good to you?
Yeah, it looked good enough for me not to. All right, so for y'all, those that don't know, I don't do the scary movie scene, man. I ain't with all that demonic. That joint looks crazy.
There's no demons or demonic things going on.
I did see him say, "Don't ever answer that phone," and somebody's face flashed off and on or something crazy like that. That's enough for me.
Do yourselves a favor and watch this trailer and tell me it is not one of the scariest trailers for a movie that you've seen. I don't know who the child actors in this are, but Ethan Hawke plays. I'm Ethan Hunt. Now you got me stuck on Mission Impossible. But Ethan Hawke plays almost like a Jeffrey Dahmer type, but he abducts children, and like he winds up abducting this kid, and he brings him into his home. And there's a phone that isn't attached to anything in the room, but like for somehow, some way, he can like talk through. I don't know what's going on, but Ethan Hawke. See, look what you're doing to me. Ethan Hawke looks wild in it, and it's like he looks terrifying, and I'm 100% in on it. Do yourself a favor, go watch that trailer. Maybe we could put the link in the description if anybody wants to check that one out.
Okay.
As far as other upcoming movies that are going to be coming up soon, we have The Harder They Fall, which actually drops today. We have The Eternals, which drops this Friday. And we have King Richard, which drops 2 weeks from now. And that trailer came on again before Dune. And the whole time I'm just like, yo, I It was these movies, man. I'm a blundering mess while I'm watching it. So those 3 movies come out. Like we'll give you when we actually do watch them. We'll do a quick review on them.
I kind of watched one already.
What do you mean? They just this one.
The Harder They Fall came out today. I got up before work and watched that movie.
Wait.
I got up before work and I watched the movie.
Just to be clear, we both work a school schedule.
Yes.
So that means you woke up at
5
in the morning.
Yes.
Watch this movie.
Yes.
Didn't tell me.
No.
Because
I'm gonna watch it again tonight. Yo, listen. Can I get a minute?
Don't spoil a damn thing.
I won't. All right, so listen.
Damn thing.
Yo, listen.
I'm watching you closely.
Yo, listen. The Harder They Fall. Much watch. Not only am I putting this joint on the big screen in my TV, if for some reason they say it's gonna go to the movies, I'm gonna go to the movies and see it. Yes.
Is that good?
That's how I feel about it. I felt so good about it. I took notes on it, and I usually don't even take notes on movies. So I'm gonna give you the rundown. All right.
Wait, you took notes?
I took notes on the movie. All right?
Is that what this piece of
That's
paper
what this piece of paper is. Listen. I had this ready.
Please
This
don't
been ready since
this.
this. I had this joint ready since this morning. I don't know there we go. We focusing there. So
That
just a
just
little.
looks like everybody's Grand Theft Auto 3 cheats.
Yeah, listen. All right, let me run it down for you. All right, so first off, it's directed. Chill. I don't want to ruin it because when I see a good movie, I want people to experience it the way I did. So you can hit me up and be like, bang, yo, that joint was fire. You should watch it tonight, right after the challenge. All right.
I don't know if I'm watching it tonight, but I am definitely gonna watch it before the next time.
Boo, don't worry. I'm gonna watch it 2 more times before you watch it. All right. So the director is James Samuel. All right. He's done other.
You did real research.
Oh yeah, he's done other Western movies. Like They'll Never See the Light of Day or something like that, with a lot of prolific actors in that. I'm probably saying that wrong, but they call him, like, his nickname is like Bullets. He's from London, so I'm pretty sure it's pronounced Bullets, but like he's like the dude out there as far as producing. All right, so directing. We know it was produced by the boy Sean Carter. Sean Carter,
Rock and Roll Hall of Fame inductee.
Sean Carter. Sean Carter.
His competition is
Word. And this movie is killing everybody. He coupled with James Lasseter. I hope I said that correct. James Lasseter actually did a lot of your boys' movie, Will Smith. So for y'all that don't know, the homie Joel's a big Will Smith fan. So he did Bad Boys. He did I, Robot. He did I Am Legend. He did Ali. He did Pursuit of Happiness. He did After Earth. He did Hancock. He did Hitch. He did 7 Pounds. He was not playing. He was not playing. On top of doing stuff like The Karate Kid.
Wait, Jaden Smith Karate Kid?
Yes.
Is he in the Will Smith family?
Charm City Kings, ATL. So we digress. All right, but they loaded up. All right. So the premise of the story is settling old scores between 2 gangs. You got the Nat Love gang and you got the Rufus Buck gang. All right. On the Nat Love gang, I feel like I'm announcing a starting lineup for a basketball game. Like, at guard. Right. So you got, mind you, I don't be knowing names, right?
Yeah.
All right. Watch your boy. All right. So we got Jonathan Majors playing Nat Love, leader of the Nat Love gang. All right. It's got Zazie Beetz. I'm pretty sure. I hope I'm saying that right. She plays Mary Fields. We got RJ Seiler. That man is playing Jim Buckworth. All right, we got Edie Gathegi. I know I probably killed that.
Whoever's name that was, you just.
Oh yeah. He plays Bill Pickett, and then we got Danielle Deadweiler. I'm probably saying that wrong too, but she plays Cuffy, also a thorough character. All right, then you on the Rufus roster. All right, the Rufus roster. We got Idris Elba. He plays Rufus Buck. We got Regina King, who plays Trudy Smith. Trudy. You got Lakeith Stanfield, who plays Cherokee Bill, by far my favorite character in the movie.
I was gonna ask who's your MVP.
Oh, Cherokee Bill is that guy. I'm telling you, yes, Cherokee Bill is that guy. He does some sucker stuff, like some Western stuff you're not supposed to do in the Western movie, but just like the way he carried himself in the movie, I was like, you know what? I could mess with Cherokee Bill. All right. Plus, I was already a fan of him before that. Some notables, you got Deion Cole in this joint. He's playing Wiley Esco.
He's been on a tear.
Yes, he has. And there was no comedy about Deion in this joint. He was straight to the point playing his role, and I was like, you know what, Deion, this is not an Old Spice commercial.
He's a rookie here. He's a rookie here.
Yes, and then just to sprinkle in some OG, they threw Delroy Lindo in there.
Yeah.
Yes, he plays bass Reeves. For those who don't know who Delroy is, he was in Clockers. That man was carving that man. Oh yeah, I'm old school. He was carving it on that man's car. He called "You Dead, baby." When he was going after old boy. He was also he was recently in. Oh, what was he recently in? Oh, it's killing me. It's killing me. Oh, I can't search fast enough. But it's definitely gone. But Delroy don't play no games. He don't play no games, so he be on it. But it's definitely a must watch. Like I said, I'm watching it again tonight. If you're asking me what it is on a scale of raisin, I will go to the movie theaters to see this joint. Yeah.
Like it's too late right now for me to watch it tonight because like I woke up super early this morning
and it's
like I don't got it in me. I'm running off of Subway cookies right now.
Oh yeah, you tripping? And I think it's like 145, 150.
That's it? Under 2 hours?
Yeah. I think it's under 2 hours.
I just sat through 2.5 hours to do. I can watch
and yo, trust me, this joint gets cracking from the beginning. All right, the introductions of people you need to know, you will learn along the way. Trust me, this joint is not playing around. They are about that action, boss.
All right, I was really upset that you saw the movie without me and that you saw it first. But I'm so beyond proud of you by your notes and your facts that you have. They're like it's all out the window. It's all out the window now. Look at I'm like a proud daddy that walked out and said he was getting the milk. And then like I showed up to like when you got drafted. Like that's how I feel right now. I was like, look at my boy over there. Like,
yo, listen. I pulled out this drive. I was like, I had the ink well like bloop.
Dear Slim, I wrote you, but you still ain't. I got this cell page home at the bottom. At the bottom, he was not a guy.
He was like, you hear that? That's Dune in the back of the trunk.
I'm not gonna lie, that was fire. You're really on a roll right now, and like I don't want to step on you.
Yo, listen. All right, we're gonna move on. But yo, listen, if you have time, definitely throw that joint on your docket. Netflix, you can't beat it. Like it's waiting right there for you. It's waiting right there.
The Harder They Fall, Netflix movie. The three main stars: Jonathan Majors, Idris Elba, and Regina King.
Mm-hmm.
I believe it's Regina King wrote or directed this movie as well, or she didn't direct it because you just said who directed it, but she like executive produced this movie.
I'm pretty sure Regina King's not gonna be in nothing that she doesn't have director or editing or producer capability.
Y'all ain't about to have me wearing these long locks no more in the back of a mail truck. I'm not doing that no more.
Go ahead, brush your weak fade, Chicago. No, I'm just fine.
Yeah, he's correct.
Regina, remember, you come on the show, this is your show. We're going to be your guests, all right?
Listen, I don't know who can reach out to Regina King. Do I got to hit you up on Twitter, slide in the DMs, whatever it is? Listen, you could be a heavyweight bro with like anytime. So, but to move on, and it's like, I feel like I'm stealing your thunder by moving on.
Nah, I'm good, man. I'm good. I did my press game interview, my post game interview.
Almost like the Atlanta Braves. Knock it out the park. As I take some of those wind out of them sails. We're going to move on to the Blitz. It's football time.
Yes.
So, first and foremost, you texted me and we were like, we need to talk about Deion Sanders.
Yes.
And I was like, I'm always down to talk about Deion Sanders, but apparently you said that there was a more serious nature to it that I'm not privy to. So
yeah, so he did have the foot surgery, but I don't know if it was yesterday or the day before. He was hospitalized for an undisclosed illness. They said he's still being hopeful, but Prime's always being hopeful. He's always looking on the good side of things. I got to watch him on the I Am Athlete joint, and like some of the stuff he just says, like you can just tell, like some people live life and don't learn. You can tell that he's definitely learned from his encounters in life, and he uses the time that he has to enrich other people's lives. And you can not only respect that, but be empathetic with it and try to, make changes in your life to try to emulate some of those good things to add value to the people around you. But yes, it hasn't been disclosed like what he was hospitalized for, but it seems like his health has taken a serious toll. So just wanted to shout out to homie Deion. I know we don't know each other personally, you know what I mean? You can also come on the show. I will be your guest. All right. But I just, speedy recovery, man. Like these are iconic people that we've seen as we were growing up that are like cornerstones.
I was thinking about it like as you were talking. like I know for a fact Deion Sanders was my first ever favorite player. Like he was the first guy that I was like, that is my favorite player. And you're talking, and like as you were doing that, I was like, I'm pretty sure Deion Sanders is still to this day my favorite football player of all time. So like to hear that the person that helped me fall in love with the game of football, and it's like even still like as the coach of the HBCU team, and it's like him trying to change like the landscape of those leagues. Um, to hear that like something like that happened, like it really really does sadden my heart, and it's like prayers up for Deion, and we wish you nothing but the best. I want you back out here because it's like you said, it's like he not only lives life, he learned from life, and like he's always been nothing but real. Neon Deion, prime time, prayers up to you. On a less somber note, this was the NFL trade deadline, and one of the biggest. There was only a couple trades, like not really, like Melvin Ingram got traded to the Chiefs. But the biggest thing that happened is Von Miller was traded for 2 second-round draft picks to the Los Angeles Rams.
The rich get richer.
Rich definitely is. But that's what happens when you're a good team, and like it's almost like when the Yankees back in the day, it's like if we're winning and we keep spending the bread, like you guys can spend the same bread, but you're just not doing it. So it's like, yeah, why not?
No argument there, Yankee fan. You know what I
mean? So why were you so sad that the Braves won?
I was just sad that the Yankees did not.
They sad every year.
Lost a wild card to the freaking Red Sox. Yeah.
But yeah. So Von Miller, like, not the same Von Miller of old.
But you got to think like the Von Miller of old was carrying a defense on his back. He doesn't have to do that now because he has a defense to complement his attributes, and what little he may have left in the tank, he can use it when he needs to use it rather than having to go full force every single down because he has backup. Like, you can't tell me, like, let's say I'm a J.R. Smith, right?
Okay.
And
basketball.
Oh, yeah, you know what I mean? It's like I'm a J.R. Smith. I used to have it in Denver, you know what I mean? I still got a little bit of something, but then you make me a compliment to a LeBron James. Like, I'm going to make sure that I'm making a couple shots that I need to make, playing the defense I need to play, and getting my little fast break dunks when I need to make sure this man's job is easier, but you're going to see that I can still ball. This man is playing next to Aaron Donald.
Who's like the best non-quarterback in the NFL, I would say. If he's not the best player in the NFL, he's at bare minimum the best player that's not a quarterback in the NFL.
He wears number 99. He has a chain that says 99. He's rated 99 in Madden. That brother lifts 9,999 pounds. He should get paid $99 million a year because he's listen.
He sent 99 offensive linemen in front of him.
Right.
He just goes right through them.
99 times. So it's like if you can't make a play,
you got 99 problems in Aaron Donald's all over.
Right. Yes.
I was hoping I was going to get one in.
Yes. You the dude from Hero?
I don't know what that was. Oh, my man. Hiro Nakamura?
Yeah, we digress. You know how far we can go down that rabbit hole. But yeah.
Put Von Miller next to that.
Right.
This dude you can't stop. And then the guy that, like, you still need a couple people to stop. It's like, it's going to be a hazard in NFC West.
Yeah, I brought it up with the Cardinals. Like, A.J. Green was that guy when he was with the Bengals, and then he kind of took a slope because, like, he didn't have nobody to compliment. Now you throw him on the Cardinals with D-Hop and all these other people, and it's just like, I can still play ball. You know what I mean? So it's like they was talking crazy about Randy. It was like, oh, Randy's washed up. He needs to stay on the Raiders. And this man goes to the Patriots and catches 50 of those. Like, and
you mean hit the record books.
Right. And then it was just like, hey, you got fined. That's all right. Straight cash, homie. Like, so like you put somebody who is good next to somebody who is great, and then Randy Moss is different because he was already great. You know what I mean? So shout out to the haters. But you know, I think he's going to do well, and he's just going to help the Rams be better than they already are. All right, so moving on from that, injury time. The biggest thing that we've heard in the league just far is that boy created player. That boy created player, Derrick Henry.
With the shotgun shell to the heart of fantasy owners everywhere.
Listen, you don't know how fast I got on the waiver wire. I was like, who's the backup in Tennessee? I done got 2 boys just to find out they was like the Titans are meeting with Adrian Peterson. I was like, darn it. Right. I was like, darn it. I went to AP's name it. He already had a Titans jersey on. I was like, how is this possible? How is this possible? But yeah, man, that's devastating. Not only because of fantasy football, of course, you know what I mean, but it's just like he was setting records.
Well, for those who don't even know who we're talking about, like you might have missed it because you don't know creative player, like all this stuff. The Tennessee Titans running back Derrick Henry,
Mm-hmm.
who was our pick for number one in MVP voting as of
Mm-hmm.
right now,
Mm-hmm.
went down with a broken foot, so he's
Mm-hmm.
going to be out 8 to 10 weeks, which is
The season.
effectively ending his season.
Yep.
And like yeah, it sucks all the way around. It's like I said, for fantasy it sucks. For Derrick Henry it sucks because it looks like he was on his way to an MVP. For the Titans it sucks because like he is the motor, he's the engine that makes that offense run. So it's like now they're gonna have to look to Julio Jones who's been off injured, AJ Brown has been off injured, and Ryan
Mm-hmm.
Tannehill who's up and down to try to get this team to the playoffs.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so it's tough. It's tough. I felt for the young boy. I was just like, man, this is like when you're doing something great, like you want to continue your greatness. Like you don't know how you're gonna come back from that injury, a la Saquon Barkley. You know what I mean?
Yep.
So, i.e. Derrick Rose. You know what I mean? So you never know. It's
The
not saying
greatest example is Adrian Peterson himself.
Adrian
Who tore his
Peterson.
ACL,
Yes,
who tore his ACL,
definitely.
you know
So
what I mean?
you don't know how long that road is to getting back, especially when you're playing a game where people get paid to run into you every play that you get the ball. You know what I mean? So in even the plays that you don't. So it's just like speedy recovery for that young man. Hope it works out.
Take your time getting back, Derrick Henry. Not because
Word.
I was tired of playing you in fantasy or any sort of thing like that, but like just take your time to come back healthy. Like I don't
Word.
want this to be the last time we see MVP caliber Derrick Henry.
Word.
In a non-injury related, but like a still devastating loss
Mm-hmm.
to a up and coming team, like you know that would look like it was a playoff contender. The Los Angeles Raiders wide receiver Henry Ruggs the third,
Las Vegas.
Las Vegas.
Yeah.
Yo, listen, man, the Las Vegas and the Los Angeles has been killing me with all these teams.
I
The
still call
Chargers,
him I still call him Oakland.
the Raiders wide receiver Henry Ruggs the third was released by the Oakland Raiders recently due to his involvement in a homicide by a vehicular homicide.
Yeah, I think it's like vehicular manslaughter or
Vehicular
something like that.
manslaughter.
Yeah.
The
Terrible
dude
situation. Very terrible situation.
in all part with all parties involved.
Yeah, yeah. Somebody lost their life. You know, he's potentially going to lose his career and possibly his a good portion of his life if he goes to jail. Um, Not to mention his career is going to be shattered. Like you said, the Raiders have already released him. Um, like me as a Raider fan, you know, people would say, "Oh man, you lost a wide receiver. Y'all doing so good. The Raiders can't get it together." Listen, this is a young man's life. I mean, this is only his third year in the league. Um, yeah, no,
Second
second
year,
second year in the league.
and like he lost his life career wise.
Right,
In the bigger scope of things, this young woman lost her life,
right.
and I believe her dog as well.
Yes,
So
156.
was going 156 miles per hour. When I heard the number, like I was a little bit too busy today, but I was gonna look up like how fast like NASCAR car goes or
Yeah.
like Formula One cars,
Yeah.
because I was like, that's bananas that you were even that close to the speedometer going crazy.
Mhm.
Like
I don't,
I've lost
I
control
don't
of a
even know
vehicle
what he
going
was
like
driving.
90s,
I don't even know what he was driving.
and
Like,
like doesn't even matter. Like at this
no,
point,
it's like 156. How do you even keep the tires on the road at that point? Like, it's like dangerous. He was under the influence of alcohol, so that doesn't help the situation at all either. So,
and it's not an excuse either. Um, it's it's just really like a sad, ugly situation all the way around. Um, we like want to put out all prayers and everything for the family of the woman that lost her life, and we really hope that like Henry Ruggs can find like the remorse and like the forgiveness that he's looking for, and that like he can still recover from this like as well. With that being said, we're going to move on to the hardwood check-in.
Corvette, just so you know.
Oh, he was driving a Corvette.
Yeah.
Oh, before we even go over there, I almost forgot. And how could I forget the results of our 2 minute drill update? As for y'all who don't know, me and my co-host have a ongoing bet right now. We're taking our turns picking winners for all the NFL games. We're adding them up, and whoever has the most points is going to go towards their record. And like at the end, whoever has the best record, the loser has to buy a two-person meal for Ruth Chris Steakhouse. which is a pretty penny. I gotta look up the menu prices because I gotta see what I'm looking for. And the reason why I'm gonna look up the prices to see what I'm looking for, because right now your boy's in the lead.
It's the first week.
It is the first week.
It's the first week.
But I'm undefeated.
Okay.
I'm just saying.
Okay.
So
okay.
Out of all the games, I got 9 of the games correctly. He gets 6 of the games correctly. So right now I have a 1-0 lead. To start off this week, we do have a Thursday night football game. So how about we do our Thursday night pick now, and we'll do the rest of our picks for the next pod, which is before all the Sunday games. So like that way we have some time to see who's in and out the lineups, stuff like that.
Do we even need to make the pick? It's the Jets versus Indy.
It's the Indianapolis Colts versus the New York Jets. Raisin, who are you picking?
Indy. Are you serious right now? Anybody who picks the Jets. Listen, man. The Jets could play Central tomorrow. I'm picking Central.
I'm actually gonna write that down. Not that you would pick Central. I'm gonna put this vote for Colts. No, we had a bunch of them like that. We had the same picks. Making all this little seesaw there. But I mean, go Colts, I guess. It was like them Jets, even though they just beat the Cincinnati Bengals. We were wrong about that game.
We were wrong about that game. But the Cincinnati Bengals are terrible.
I don't know if you saw it. The quarterback, so the quarterback who started for Zach Wilson, it was his first start ever and stuff like that. Somebody placed a $1,000 bet that he would be the NFL's passing leader for the week. He was the NFL passing leader for last week. That man with that $1,000 bet won $126,000. That $126,000.
That's risky business.
That $126,000 is more than the salary for the quarterback for the New York Jets.
What?
In that one go.
Salty. Salty.
That man.
Wow.
More than he actually has himself. Wild.
That's crazy. That is crazy.
Yeah, but like they had no business winning that Bengals game. But
no.
That's all there is to that.
They didn't win the game. The Bengals lost.
Yeah, that's really what happened. But we'll move on to the hardcore check-in. I feel like this is our second somber note and probably like the most somber note that we have so far. NBA or TNT analyst Ernie Johnson, famous for the Turner Night Crew with Charles Barkley, Kenny the Jet Smith, and Shaquille O'Neal. Ernie's been there from the jump. He's the backbone of the show, and sadly, his 33-year-old adopted son lost his battle with muscular dystrophy and passed away this past week. Do yourselves a favor. Ernie Johnson did would you call it a eulogy? Or would you just do like a kind of like almost like a goodbye video for his son? And I got like maybe a minute in, and then like my eyes, like I couldn't stop crying. Yeah, for those who don't know, watch the video. It's like Ernie Johnson himself.
Good dude.
He's been one of the most solid guys in just media in general. But like I think that there isn't anybody that's a basketball fan that is more universally loved than Ernie Johnson. He's a great person in the booth. He's a greater person outside of the booth. So we really just wanted to give him a shout out for that. So I have 2 topics that I wanted to throw to you. I'm going to do one of the topics now. And this is like the big one. So the NBA had their 75 75th anniversary team.
Mm-hmm.
So we decided that we were going to, because like, you know, there was a lot of outrage of people who didn't make the team.
Yep.
So we were just kind of like, let's see if we can do it correctly. And we did get it down to
I don't know if you saw the comments either. You know, our little Kyrie James Harden debate?
Yeah.
20 people weighed in. You lost.
What? How?
I'm just kidding.
I
just want to see your reaction. Yo.
And for someone,
was that all one word? Every time
I said it, then I gotta do it.
Oh.
But I was like, for someone who was talking crazy, we actually before the show
it was tough.
We tried to get as close to 25 as we could.
It was tough.
We actually got down to 21. So we do need to debate over the next 3. But before we do, we're gonna go over the people who we both agreed deserve to be on the 25 list. And bear with me. We have Stephen Curry, Russell Westbrook, Jason Kidd, Chris Paul, Steve Nash, Kobe Bryant, James Harden, Allen Iverson, Dwayne Wade, Ray Allen, LeBron James, Kevin Durant, Giannis Antetokounmpo, Dominique Wilkins, Kawhi Leonard, Tim Duncan, Kevin Garnett, Dirk Nowitzki, Dennis Rodman, Ben Wallace, Amari Stoudemire, and Gary Payton. So we have room for 3 players left on our list. And these are the players that we are debating. Actually, wait, where's Dwight Howard? Because Dwight was another person on here too. Okay, so we have 3 spots. We have 3 spots. Then we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 players that we have to debate. So 5 of these guys got to go. The players are Bernard King, Vince Carter, Paul Pierce, Dikembe Mutombo, Tracy McGrady, Anthony Davis, and Bob McAdoo, and also Dwight Howard. So
you gotta throw Bernard on there.
So what should we call it? We have to narrow this down, and now we got to add Dwight to the list. Woo! So out of these, we got to come up with 3 of them.
Hey, matter of fact, we won't choose y'all. Tell us who you want in the comments.
Don't try to scapegoat. Don't try to scapegoat. So, like, I think the easiest way to do this is we have to take 3 out. And, like, I'm going to look at this, and I feel like there are 3 people that aren't like everyone else. So I'm going to say the names of everyone again. Bernard King, Vince Carter, Paul Pierce, Dikembe Mutombo, Tracy McGrady, Anthony Davis, Bob McAdoo, and Dwight Howard. So one of the glaring people on this list is Bob McAdoo, who neither of us were able to see play.
Right.
He is the only one of these guys that are left on this list that has an MVP. He was a center, and he won 2 scoring titles, and he has a bunch of All-NBA accolades on there as well. So, like, I think that he needs to stay in here.
Okay.
I feel like Vince Carter doesn't belong along these names. I feel like Dikembe Mutombo doesn't belong along these names. And I feel like Anthony Davis doesn't belong along these names. Do you agree with any of those?
I can go with AD.
Okay, AD could go.
I'm struggling with Vince.
What about Dikembe?
I go part ways with Dikembe.
Okay. All right, so Dikembe gone. Vince Carter you're struggling with. So, like, the 3 most decorated players on here are Dwight Howard, Bob McAdoo, and Paul Pierce. The thing is, I don't like Paul Pierce, but I have to respect what Paul Pierce has done on here.
I'm not a Paul Pierce fan either.
I'm not a Paul Pierce fan, but I feel like what has Vince Carter done that Paul Pierce hasn't done besides the most amazing slam dunk contest I've ever seen in my life?
If I'm choosing between Vince and Paul, I'm going Vince.
Why? Why? Why Vince Carter? Why do you have love for these players that did nothing?
Listen, man. Vince is that guy, man. I don't like Paul.
Like,
it's not a like thing. I know it's not a like thing.
But when was he that guy?
Bro, forget it.
I'm serious. He was on the Toronto Raptors. He was really good, but like they never really went anywhere.
The New Jersey Nets, bro.
Yeah, they didn't go to the finals with him.
Yes, they did. They played against Kobe.
That wasn't Vince Carter on that team. That was
yes,
Kerry
it
Kittles.
was.
No, it was
no, I'm pretty sure it was J. Kidd and Vince Carter.
It was not.
We got to look that up.
So just to be clear, Kobe Bryant and the Lakers played the Nets in 2002 and 2003 when Vince Carter was still on the Toronto Raptors. The New Jersey Nets at the time, you can keep looking. But this is how money it is up here. It was Jason Kidd, Kerry Kittles, Richard Jefferson, Kenyon Martin, and like Aaron Williams at the time.
And Keith Van Horn.
Keith Van Horn, Brian Scalabrine.
Yeah, I guess I was wrong.
So like Vince Carter has done what? He was on those Orlando Magic teams.
All right, man. All right. Okay, take Vince off. Oh my goodness.
Yeah. The one that really hurts.
Take Dwight Howard off.
Why Dwight Howard? Like this is what I'm talking about. Like he is the most important big man of the last 10 years. Like what does Bernard King have over Dwight Howard? Besides the fact that he was a prolific scorer. Bernard King was the Carmelo Anthony of his day. And we don't even have Carmelo on here. Bernard King got no rings.
Are you serious, man?
He just got no rings? Bernard King got a ring?
With the Knicks, bro.
Man, this was the 70s.
Mm-hmm.
Bernard King got a ring?
Mm-hmm.
He's got a finals MVP.
That's tripping.
Does he got MVP? Because Bob McAdoo does.
Tripping,
Does he got defensive player of the year?
This man's
Dwight Howard does.
bro. This brother's disrespectful, man.
I just listen. As much as it hurts, I feel like Tracy McGrady's getting left off this list. Is Tracy McGrady getting left off?
Yes.
Okay. So now we have 4 names. Man, that hurts us cross our T-Mac's name. We got Dwight Howard, Bob McAdoo, Paul Pierce, and Bernard King. One of them has to go.
Dwight Howard.
He's the number one person I hear I'm going for right now.
Okay, I get it.
Dwight Howard
I get it.
a LeBron James-led team and went to the finals against Kobe Bryant with the next best person being Hito Turkoglu. Went to the finals. Come on, man. Bob McAdoo has the MVP. Are we going to leave the... So the only 2 people that have won MVPs that we did not have on our list, actually there's 3 of them. Nikola Jokic, we didn't put him on. We're like, it's too early in his career. And Derrick Rose. And it's like, for obvious reasons, Derrick Rose didn't wind up making the list or whatever. But it really comes down to these 4 guys. One has to go. Dwight,
Bernard King.
McAdoo.
4-time NBA All-Star, 2-time NBA first team, All-NBA second team, third team, All-Rookie team, NBA scoring champion.
One time? How many times?
85 one time.
I was like, he got 85 scoring times. He got one time, one scoring title.
Yep. He won a ship.
So him and Paul Pierce are the only people that have a championship.
Yes.
So like,
so
can we
take Bernard, Paul, and McAdoo? McAdoo didn't win a ring?
He did.
Okay. So who's the one person? One of these things is not like the other.
Okay. But like Bernard King wasn't the best player on that team that won. That was Willis Reed and Walt Frazier. So hold on. So can we at least, we both agree that Paul Pierce and Bob McAdoo need to be on this list. It really is between Bernard King and Dwight Howard.
No, I'm agreeing that Dwight Howard doesn't make the list.
Because to me, Bernard King doesn't make the list. So like, that's where we're at.
All right.
So Paul Pierce and Bob McAdoo make it.
Yeesh. Yes. 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 Yes.
McAdoo and Paul Pierce. You have no idea how much it stings my soul that I just had to write Paul Pierce on here and cross out Tracy McGrady. Like that joint hurt more than anything. So, all right, how about this? The next podcast, I want you to build your best 3-minute Bernard King argument.
Oh wait,
and I'm gonna do my best. What happened?
Bernard King has never even won a ring.
Oh, one of these things is not like the other. One of these dudes is buzzing. He's not buzzing.
Whoa,
He's not buzzing.
yo, chill out, man.
I'm playing. Listen. Do you like? So can we agree that Dwight Howard's the guy that belongs on here?
Scored 50 points 8 times in a game.
Okay. Which boy, Dwight Howard had 25 rebounds multiple times. He was a block leader, a defensive player of the year. He was a rebounding leader. He was a top 5 scorer, and everybody was like, he has no moves. But yeah, he's one of the 5 best scorers in the league. In a league that had Dwayne Wade, Kobe Bryant, and LeBron James, and like all these guys.
Drew says no, 0. Oh man. Oh no, man. This might take a long, in-depth decision making, man. I can't do Bernard like that, man.
All right. So like, look, we have 74 of the 75 players on here.
Mm-hmm.
There's one spot left.
Mm-hmm.
I will make my best 3-minute case for Dwight Howard. You make your best 3-minute case for Bernard King, and we'll let everybody else decide next podcast. How's that sound?
Okay.
Okay.
Sounds good.
So I want you to prepare it.
I'm ready.
I want notes
I'll be ready.
you took on the movie.
I'll be ready. I'll be ready. I'll be ready.
So
What?
our list as currently stands, mind you, this is the next 25. So all players that are already on the 50 greatest players of all time list are automatically entered on here. So we picked the next 25 players. So the players that we have are as follows: Stephen Curry, Russell Westbrook, Jason Kidd, Chris Paul, Steve Nash, Kobe Bryant, James Harden, Allen Iverson, Dwayne Wade, Ray Allen, LeBron James, Kevin Durant, Giannis Antetokounmpo, Dominique Wilkins, Kawhi Leonard, Paul Pierce, Tim Duncan, Kevin Garnett, Dirk Nowitzki, Dennis Rodman, Ben Wallace, Amari Stoudemire, Bob McAdoo, and Gary Payton.
That's thorough.
Let me ask you a question.
Mm-hmm.
If I told you I would have no problem putting Bernard King on this list, but we'd have to take off Amari Stoudemire, would you do it?
Yes.
I can agree to that. So our 75th player is Bernard King. Amari Stoudemire, sadly, you got to go, playboy.
So that puts Dwight and Bernard King on there.
Dwight and Bernard King.
So you're making me choose Dwight over Amari is what you're really making me do.
Dwight or Bernard King.
You're such
Looks like Amari Stoudemire got to go.
Such a shenanigan fool. Oh man, this brother's tripping, man. Yeah, it's just a Travis Sham mockery. Oh,
sorry,
my
Amari.
goodness.
That was a solid trade. I feel like
man.
he said, laughing straight to the bank.
Oh,
I
you're
really
terrible.
want to reread this list. I think we got it right. It's already in there.
It is what it is. It is what it is, man.
Man, well, like, I'm looking at it though, and it's like the all list. Like if we were to do like the top players from every position that we chose, like we're talking about Steph Curry, Kobe Bryant, LeBron James, Tim Duncan, and either Ben Wallace or Dwight, most likely Dwight Howard. That is a wild top five. Like there's not many top fives that are beating that. Even like with the 50 greatest. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like, that's a pretty wild top. But it's like Amari Stoudemire drops off. I don't know why he's on there in the first place. But Amari drops off, and Bernard King and Dwight Howard enter in. We have our 75. We have the next 25 for the 75 greatest list. So that is in the books. Mm-hmm. Let us know in the comment section if you agree, if you disagree. You guys have somebody that we missed. But like I think you will notice that Kyrie Irving didn't even get mentioned.
Like and subscribe.
Kyrie Irving didn't even get mentioned in there. It's kind of crazy because you were saying that he belonged over there over James Harden. He didn't even receive a single vote. It's kind of wild to think about, right?
Nah, he was on my list, but when we started doing the back and forth, you know what I mean? Don't try to play me.
A big person that missed was Reggie Miller, though. And like that hurt me because Reggie Miller was one of my favorite players. Mm-hmm. But it's just like the resume doesn't really fit. It just doesn't really fit with everybody.
He'll get there sooner or later regardless.
Yeah, so like that's all I really had on that.
Yeah. All right, we about to get up out of here. I know Raisin likes to drop a little nugget for you at the end of the day. We've been still trying to figure out what to call this. Started with shout out to my homie, Mr. Click. You know who you are. He's got a new podcast he's starting as well, man. It's called Coach Click's Corner. So
we'll have to have him on, man.
Oh yeah, we'll definitely have him on. Also want to check him out. Shout outs to the homie. Super proud of that guy. You know, keep it moving. Keep it moving. So for right now, I'm gonna call these Raisinets. All right, you can call them Raisinets.
I don't hate it.
We'll see what happens.
I'm like, yo, drop Raisinets.
Yeah,
I hate the candy, but I like the what's it called. Like,
surprisingly, I don't like raisins either. Because you should only like one.
But you got two of them. Just drop a Raisinette. Drop a Raisinette before we get kicked. All right,
so listen.
I was just thinking of like, you know, the screen going a little crazy, and all of a sudden there's like a whole different person
right,
sitting here.
Right.
Like, yeah, man, see y'all next week.
So listen, man, October's been kind of crazy. My son lost his godfather. I mean, his godmother. One of my cousins passed away. Really tough, really tough. My son was in ICU for 3 days. It was really touch and go. A lot of stuff happening. You know, we already know last year, pandemic year was crazy. Not much has changed, if not has gotten worse. And this year that we are struggling to get through as well as January fastly approaches. I just want to tell y'all, tell somebody next to you love them, man. I mean, Joel, I love you, homie.
I was wondering, I was like, is he gonna tell
I
me?
love you,
And I
homie.
was like, if you were to
You know
tell
what I
everybody
mean?
that tell everybody that they love them that you didn't tell me, I was gonna be a little bit hurt.
Nah,
I love you,
nah.
man.
Call somebody you ain't talked to in a while. Hash out something that's not been fixed. You know what I mean? Mend something that needs to be mended. Like even if you decide to not be around somebody, at least make sure that you say, "Hey, this is the reason things are the way they are, but it really shouldn't be." And you know what I mean? Decide to go your separate ways, but do it peacefully. You know what I mean? Like we ain't got but so much time, and it just takes so much energy to be upset, more energy than it does to be happy. So like don't stress yourself out, ruin your health, ruin your days because you're so focused on being mad at somebody that's probably not even thinking about you. All right. So free your mind, free your schedule, free your time. You know what I mean? And just get through it.
You know, immediately I thought, I was like, free your mind. So far.
And you
I
killed
really hate
the
that I stopped at the
lyric.
moment.
And you
I know
killed
I did.
the
I
lyric.
know.
Like, you didn't even. Oh my goodness.
Can you do it for me? How's it go?
Free your mind,
Uh,
and the rest will follow.
what did I say? Your soul
Be
will follow?
colorblind. Don't be so
Yeah,
shallow.
sing it though. Sing it like I sung it.
Boom, 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 boom. No, I won't sing it.
Come on, don't do
Hey,
that.
listen.
Don't do that.
Call your mama, call your dad, call your brother, call your sister, call a cousin, call auntie, call uncle, call somebody. All right, before the week. Sipping Corner hasn't started yet. Sipping Corner hasn't started yet. But yeah, call somebody before the week is out. Call somebody.
I hate
Call
that I
somebody.
keep stopping at your moment. But like
No,
you're absolutely right. Like I keep making jokes about it, but like now, like look, a lot of us were just getting too old, man. Like it's like what are we really talking about? Like why are we really not talking to people over stuff that like is just trivial and don't really matter? And like when you think about it, it's like, oh, like this person, like like not having this person didn't bring too much to me, but it's just nice to like have some people around sometimes. And it's like one of the hardest things about adulthood is figuring out where to put people. And it's like, like not everybody deserves 100% of you, but that doesn't mean that they don't deserve any percent of you because people are useful, or like that sounds dumb, like saying people are useful because like we're not things, but it's like we need certain people for other things. Like some people are there for emotional support, some people are there just to vent to, some people are there for professional help or networking and things of that nature. Some people are just there to help you move because that is a bitch in itself.
Yeah.
But like, yeah, so like really just like go through it and be like, yeah, like why did I stop talking to this person? Like who knows what they can bring to you now, and who also knows that they need you for something? Because you just never know. Like sometimes we all just need a little help in hand.
You never know how far gone somebody is. That one phone call can help bring them back.
Because that's where it really comes down. When that person's gone, and you really think of like, wow, like who knows? You could have been the person to stop whatever happened. You could have been the person that changed somebody's day. They could have been the person to change your. You just don't know. Some of y'all got kids and need a babysitter. You didn't know you wouldn't mind for them. Before we head out though, can you please show this hoodie? Because like I've been looking at it, even in the thing, it's backwards on here, obviously. But like the Tecmo Bowl, like Bo Jackson touchdown hoodie, I've been admiring it this whole time, and I'm super, super jealous about it.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah? Oh yeah?
Yeah, man. This is the guy who made me a Raider fan, man. It was Bo Jackson, him and Marcus Allen. I mean, those was the guys. You know what I mean? I came up watching a cartoon called All Stars.
Yep,
that had Michael Jordan, Wayne Gretzky,
but it wasn't
Bo
Michael Jordan's actual voice. It was like that weird thing.
Nope, it was terrible. But you know what I mean. But like, yeah, Bo Jackson was that guy, man. You know what I mean? And I love playing with the Raiders on Tecmo Bowl. I'm pretty sure anybody who played Tecmo Bowl did because because once Bo Jackson got to the sideline, it was over. It was instant touchdown. And they also have an app on the phone that's called I ain't gonna shout you out because you may not give us no ads. So we'll figure that out later. We'll figure that out later.
This. Huh? Bo knows that, but Bo don't know Jack.
Because Bo can't rap.
At least we ended on that one. Like you know what I'm saying? At least we got one.
Yeah, but yeah, man. That's, like I said, that's the guy who made me a Raider fan.
That's probably like a solid way as any is for us to end out this time. Next time, like I'm going to watch The Harder They Fall. We're going to talk
you
about
better, because I'm about to watch it again.
We're going to do our 2-minute drill picks. I also have like a little activity that I'm kind of like excited
here
to do
you go.
real quick.
Here you go.
I got my nerd corner stuff going.
Here you go.
I want to throw some stuff at you there.
Nerd corner. I like it.
Don't forget, guys, to like and subscribe. Please share this video. Please comment. We're trying to get bigger and better. we're still looking for an editor. We're still looking for someone to make our intro song. We do have some gear coming, and like we don't want to we don't want to hype that up too much and stuff like that. But like that's gonna be off for the next time as well. Any closing remarks?
Nah, man. Love one another. Don't nobody love you. Love yourself. Bang.
Take care. See y'all next time.